we have Aubrey May from Napa High School with the Langston Hughes poem, The Negro Speaks of Rivers.
I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and built my pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers.
And our final presenter here in round one is Sophia Cole from Napa High School. This is Sonnet 29, When in Disgrace with Fortune and Men's Eyes by William Shakespeare.
When, in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, happily I think on thee, and then, like to the lark, arising at the break of day from sullen earth, sings at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change places with the kings.
And next, Aubrey May from Napa High School with Under the Vulture Tree, written by David Buttons.
We have all seen them circling pastures, have looked up from the mouth of a barn, a pine clearing, the fences of our own backyards, have stood amazed by the one slow wing beat, the endless dihedral drift. But I had never seen so many, so close, every limb of the dead oak feathered black. And I cut the engine, let the river grab the John boat and pull it toward the tree. The black leaves shined, the pink fruit blossomed red, ugly as a human heart. Then, as I passed under their dream, I saw for the first time its soft countenance. The raw, fleshy jowls were wrinkled and generous, like the faces of the very old who have grown to empathize with everything. And I drifted away from them, slow on the pull of the river, reluctant, looking back at their roost, calling them what I'd never called them, what they are. Those dwarfed, transfiguring angels who flock to the side of the poisoned fox, the mud turtle crushed on the shoulder of the road, who pray over the leaf graves of the anonymous lost, with mercy enough to consume us all and give us wings.
And our final contestant contestant is Sophia Cole from Napa High School. The poem is by Ted Kuser. It's called Abandoned Farmhouse.
He was a big man, says the size of his shoes on a pile of broken dishes by the house. A tall man, too, says the length of the bed in an upstairs room. And a good, God-fearing man, says the Bible with a broken back on the floor below the window, dusty with sun. But not a man for farming, say the fields cluttered with boulders and the leaky barn. A woman lived with him, says the bedroom wall papered with lilacs and the kitchen shelves covered with oilcloth. And they had a child, says the sandbox made from a tractor tire. Money was scarce, say the jars of plum preserves and canned tomatoes sealed in the cellar hole. And the winter's cold, say the rags in the window frames. It was lonely here, says the narrow country road. Something went wrong, says the empty house and the weed-choked yard. Stones in the field say he was not a farmer. The still-sealed jars in the cellar say she left in a nervous haste. And the child? Its toys are strewn about the yard like branches after a storm. A rubber cow, a rusty tractor with a broken plow, a doll in overalls. Something went wrong, they say.